That's the group he comes into contact with, he comes into control with, and there are different people in that group, all based on your stereotypic circus folk. Let me go to the forum here, and I will get them up and I will discuss them. Of course, talking about Hallusion. Hallusion is a magician, much like a street magician, much like Chris Angel. I've been watching a lot of shows of Chris Angel. David Copperfield, he's a magician as well. Just for example, and he's renowned. His illusions are great. He walks on water like Chris Angel. He can fly or levitate like Chris Angel. Basically, I've been watching a lot of Chris Angel stuff, kind of getting ideas. Of course, Hallusion is sort of a Victorian. Like as soon as he becomes Hallusion, like not Jenkins Kaha, that is his name when he's a normal magician. He'll just be like wearing regular clothes. He'll be just a modern day magician. But when he becomes Hallusion, he takes on the attributes of a Victorian magician. I mean, I really love the Victorian era. Like I don't know, it's just something I like. So this is a character I really want to keep Victorian. So what happens with him? He is a magician who wants to prove that Bug is using magic to show off like his abilities, his shape-shifting and everything, because the city doesn't know. The city thinks he's an alien. The city thinks he is something else. The city thinks like he's a joke. The city thinks he has all this new stuff, but he's not like Voidance, who he's trying to copy, or everyone thinks he's trying to copy. So along comes this magician, Jenkins, and he wants to prove on national TV that Bug is a fraud. So he sets him up with a bunch of tricks that Jenkins will try and prove to him that he can do the same as Bug, and of course Bug proves him wrong. So this makes Jenkins become a laughing stock. No one takes him seriously. He's fired from his own TV show. He can't get work anymore. His wife leaves him. His family rejects him. He's just outcast. And that's a big theme for the Cirque. They're all outcasts, so he becomes an outcast himself. Of course, we're going to have like probably a good amount of stories of Hallusion just as his own villain before we're introduced to the Cirque, and even after we're introduced to the Cirque, we might have stories just for Hallusion himself. So he gets to host one final show, and not many people show up. About like 12 show up, because there's probably still one fan out there who truly believes in him. A few, like maybe a newspaper shows up to just like ridicule him like as soon as he's done, and he does one trick that he screws up on, and he basically dies while performing this trick. So this starts this huge buzz. There's all like, oh my god, this magician who was just a joke, and he's dead now. I mean, it gets a lot of press attention for him. And so in reality, this was a part of his trick. He killed himself off Jenkins Kahar so he can become this new Hallusion and wreak havoc on the world. He wants to he'll be robbing banks to get money because he's like failed. He just wants to get revenge back at society for making him an outcast. Of course, he'll do this a couple of times. Bug will obviously foil his plans a number of times before he comes into contact with the supervillain group known as the Cirque de la Strange. So let me talk about this new character I came up with. I don't have a name for her. She is a female, of course. She's a mime, so she will be a mute. So as a young girl, she was ridiculed, outcast in school. No one, since she was a mute, she would be, made fun of, and all that. So this kind of led to her being, sad and depressed. And then she discovered she had a talent. Of course, a regular mime mimes objects that aren't really there. She mimes objects that actually appear. So, like, for example, she might mime a hammer and whack the ground, and you will feel the force of that hammer. That's kind of a concept I thought was pretty cool. I wanted to introduce. I don't have a name for her. Obviously, she will be French, since mimes are French. Sorry. Moving on. A character on the forum, the Macro International Board forum. Sorry about my sister singing in the background. Well, not singing. I call it more of a screeching. Joe Roy has a character who is based on a wolf, and I created character for him back in the day, based in my universe, and if he doesn't want me to use it, I will obviously change the name. But we all know the famous freak Jojo the dog-faced boy. Well, this is sort of a spoof on him, but also a homage to my friend Joe Roy. Sorry. Called Joe Roy the wolf-faced boy. Of course, basically you know what that is. He's like a real human boy who also has he's a little feral. He is covered in hair. He looks like a kind of a werewolf, but he's a real boy. Next, we're moving on to the obvious strong man. Now, the strong man is basically just that. He is a strong man. He probably is equal to Toro in strength. Not Toro when he's like Toro, but maybe Emilio del Toro before he is injected with the steroid, before he becomes Toro, like when he's taken down the bulls. The strong man is probably like that. I mean, Toro is obviously stronger because he's been injected with the steroid, but the strong man is a strong man. He would probably, I'm thinking, have you ever seen the Goonies, how there's like that guy who's messed up, Sloth? I was thinking maybe the strong man can take elements from that character with the weird face. You've got your lion tamer, who obviously tames lions and other cats. He has a whip. He'll basically be just your basic lion tamer. The human cannonball, he obviously has a resistance to pain. His skin is tough. He would probably be a midget, because that's always funny. Not funny, but like appropriate, and he's fit into a cannonball. He's a cannonball, human cannonball. So he's resistance to pain. He when he gets momentum up, he can't be stopped. Maybe kind of like Juggernaut, of course. Yes, the contortionist lady is a character that Mad Sci Alex told me I should do, or we should do, and that is the lady who can twist herself into any shape possible. Like basically, you know what I mean. So she is basically ridiculed a freak because of the fact that she twists her body left, right, up, down, center. So she'll be used to get into like tight spaces, all that. Every freak show needs the bearded lady. The lady with the beard. Why does this lady have a beard? But obviously what she's going to be is another strong character. She'll be like the strong man. She won't be as strong as him, but she will be strong. You got your Siamese twins. They probably don't have any powers, but they're Siamese twins, or maybe they could be. Maybe we should go. We should up the ante. You usually have Siamese twins. That's regular nowadays. So why not like Siamese quintuplets or something? That would be pretty cool. The juggler will obviously be a regular juggler who is like kind of like Bullseye. He could throw, like he could juggle knives and throw the knives. He could be the juggler / knife thrower. Obviously he won't be like Bullseye because he will obviously miss. And then you got finally the fire breather who breathes fire. Enough said. So wow, I'm almost half an hour. I should really stop this now. Thank you for listening. Obviously this is going to be like 3 parts on YouTube or something, maybe even more. But this is Tom, creator of Bug, signing out.